We also have a friend of the family who's a surfboard maker, and at 65 years old, he still loves to surf, and he read the book to make sure that I got the surfing scenes accurate. How you guys doing? Anyone bored? Candy? Are there any writers in the audience? Would you like me to talk about the writing process a little? Okay. It's interesting to me that as soon as a writer gets a contract and becomes an author, people assume he or she is an expert in the field. And I'm standing in front of you right now, fairly amazed that an agent said to me, yes, I want to represent your work. And an editor said to me, yes, I want to publish your book. And in fact, I want to publish your second book, regardless of what it's about. I think luck and timing play a big role in getting published. There are many, many talented writers out there who have written great books, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to find an agent or an editor who believes in your book. I'm aware of my great good luck every day. So I honestly do not feel like an expert in my field, but I'm happy to share my experiences with writing and publishing with you. Someone once asked me in an interview to describe my writing process. And the thing is, I don't think I actually have a process. I think each book is different, and what works for one might not work for the next book. But for that interview, I distilled my process down to 3 words: plunge, persist, and polish. I don't outline. That doesn't work for some authors, but for me, I just open a document and start writing. I think people who outline sometimes have it a little easier, but, and I'm going to try it one of these days. I haven't so far. So I open a blank document and start writing. Plunge. I usually have plenty of momentum to keep me going for the first few chapters, and somewhere around the murky middle, when I'm not sure how to get my characters to the climactic scene, I have to force myself to keep going. Persist. This is a dangerous time. I've heard many writers talk about the lure of a new book tempting them away from their work in progress. But it's important to finish the book. I'm going to paraphrase author Scott Westerfeld, who was paraphrasing another author when he said this: finish your books so you know how to do it. The writing process, all of it, takes practice. If you continually get swept away by exciting new ideas and start new books, but never finish them, when you finally get the unbelievably great idea that's going to change your life, you won't know how to write the whole book, including the ending. And because writing is hard, in case anyone didn't know that, I revise a lot. Like, a lot. I'm pretty sure that every single sentence in both of my books has gone through some kind of change. So the final step in my process is to polish. If I had one piece of advice to share beyond finish the book, it would be develop friendships with other writers. You're going to need them. The act of writing itself is what brings you joy if you're a writer. But the writing life, which usually includes the attempt to get published, can be lonely and frustrating. As you travel that path, you will need friends for both celebration and commiseration. I was on a panel yesterday, and one of the questions was, what are the challenges and rewards for writing for teens, realistic fiction for teens? And my answer is, one of the challenges of writing realistic fiction for teens is that you want to include enough details from real life, you know, technology, which is constantly evolving, and contemporary colloquial language, which is also fluid and evolving, so that your book does sound like it's set in a recognizable real world, but you also don't want it to have so much slang that it might end up sounding dated in a couple of years. The rewards are that when people connect with your work strongly, they might email you and they might share details from their own lives, and that's a gift and an honor, and I never forget it. So, would you guys like me to read the prologue?